Shadow knows.
Again, Blue Coal dealers present radio's strangest adventurer, the Shadow, mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, Blue Coal brings you the Shadow's latest adventure, the Silent Avenger. The Shadow's exciting adventure begins in just a moment. But first, I'd like to remind you homeowners that right now, when winter is changing into spring, is the most treacherous time of all the year. But you can protect your family's health and save valuable dollars by burning blue coal. It's Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. Order a trial ton from your nearest blue coal dealer tomorrow. And if you want to read the adventures of the Shadow in complete novel form, in addition to numerous detective stories, crime problems, and features, simply write us for your copy of the Shadow magazine absolutely free. Remember, all you have to do is mail a penny postcard to Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of this station. Send for your free copy of the Shadow magazine tonight.
Joseph Brecker, you have been duly tried by a jury and found guilty of murder in the first degree. You now appear in this court that sentence may be passed upon you. But before I pronounce sentence, have you anything to say?
Yeah, I have. Before you pass sentence on me, I'm going to pass sentence on you. You, Judge Wilson, on Sloan, the prosecuting attorney. On those 12 good and true saps on the jury. And on one more, maybe. The guy that really trapped me in the first place. The only guy smart enough to get me. The Shadow.
Order! Order in the court! That will do, Joseph Brecker. You have nothing to say in your own behalf.
This is in my own behalf, and you'd better listen, all of you. I know I'm on my way to the death house, to the chair. But I'm warning you. For every day I sit in the death house, one of you will be killed. Starting with the foreman of the jury. And if the governor doesn't commute my sentence to life, he'll die the day I burn.
Order! Order in the court! Joseph Brecker, by the power vested in me by the people of this state, I hereby order you to be taken to the state penitentiary, there to be delivered over to the warden, by whom on a certain day determined by this court, he shall in the manner prescribed by law put you to death. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Court is adjourned. All right, come on, clear the court. Outside.
Well, it's a sheer bluff, I tell you. How can Brecker kill a whole jury? The DA, Judge Wilson, even the governor. I tell you, he's crazy.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't on that jury.
Yeah, you bet.
Some of our gang are wiped out.
Brecker's gang are all dead or in jail.
I know, but you can't
get that crack
yes,
about the Shadow.
Nobody's ever seen the Shadow. He could appear right in this courtroom and not be seen. I'd hate to have anybody like that here.
Well, Margot, let's get out of here.
It must be very flattering to inspire such awe and fear, Lamont.
It has its disadvantage, Margot. Unfortunately, the mystery surrounding the Shadow inspires fear and terror in the innocent as well as the guilty. The unknown is so often associated with evil. There's no help for it. The Shadow must remain a shadow.
Lamont, what do you make of Brecker's threat? Do you think it's just bluff?
I wish I did, Margot.
Meaning?
Meaning, Lamont Cranston is going to don the Shadow's cloak and call on Joe Brecker in prison.
Brother to see you, Brecker.
Okay. Hello, Danny. Hello, Joe.
You got 5 minutes. Better make the most of it. Deputies are here from the state pen to take you bye-bye to the big house. I'll be back.
All right. Come Come on in, Danny. Sit on the bunk. I want to talk to you. There ain't much time.
Hey, it's like a cage where they keep animals, huh, Joe?
Lay off that, Danny.
Okay, don't get sore.
Sit down here and listen to what I got to say.
Are they gonna kill you, Joe?
Yeah, but they're going to pay for it, every last one of them. You know who they are, don't you? I've told you over and over again.
Yeah, Joe, you told me.
And you know what you're to do. You remember everything I told you. Don't you, Danny?
Yeah, Joe, I remember. I won't forget. When the newspapers say they put you in a death house, I killed one of them.
That's right, Danny. And don't forget, these people I told you about, the judge, the jury, that prosecuting attorney, are the same ones that drafted you into the army, sent you over to France, let you get shell-shocked so it's hard for you to remember things.
Sure. I won't forget. Hey, will it hurt much when they kill you, Joe?
Stop that, will you?
Okay, I just want to know.
You just keep your mind on the jury and Judge Wilson. Maybe even the governor. You'll get them all, eh, Danny?
Yeah, Joe. They won't know what hit them.
That's the stuff, Danny. And now, just one more thing. There's a guy that may get after you. He's smarter than the cops. He's the one that really got me. You gotta keep away from him. Don't give him a chance to find you.
How can I do that?
You gotta keep away from home. Don't go near the flat of the old lady.
But Ma will worry if I don't come home now, Joe.
No, she won't, Danny. She'll know you got things to do.
All right, Joe. What about the fella I can't see? Is he dead? Like all my buddies in the war? The ones that talk to me in the dark?
No, Danny. This guy's different. He ain't dead, he's alive. You can hear his voice, only you can't see him. But if you ever hear his voice, you'll know he's near you. Somewhere in the shadows.
Yeah? If he talks to me, I'll fix him, Joe.
Sure, but not the way you're going to get the others, Danny. 'Cause you can't see him, see? Now look, you know those old hand grenades you have at home?
Yeah?
Well, I want you to carry a couple with you. If this guy ever finds you, if he tries to stop you paying him off for killing me, you just pull the pin of a hand grenade and throw it where you think his voice is coming from. That'll get him.
All right, Joe. But how'll I know when it's him?
You'll know all right, Danny. He has a queer kind of laugh. And he calls himself the Shadow.
All right, Brecker. Time's up. Come on, you.
Okay. So long, Danny. Don't you forget anything.
So long, Joe. I wouldn't forget. I wouldn't forget nothing you told me.
Come on, you. Out this way. Take it up.
The poor dope. He'll do it all right. He'll fix him. Every last one of them if I burn. Who's that? I heard somebody, but there's nobody there. Hey, guard!
Are you surprised to find me here, Joe Brecker?
Shadow.
So you weren't expecting me. And yet prisons are filled with shadows. Shadows in the minds of men walking in the shadow of death itself.
What do you want? You put me here, sent me to the chair. Why can't you let me alone?
Because your career of murder is not over. Because I know you mean to carry out the threat you made in court.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't stop me, Shadow.
I can. Because you're going to tell me how the jury, the prosecuting attorney, and Judge Wilson are going to be killed.
You're crazy. I'm not telling you anything, Shadow. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I got nothing to lose.
You are telling me, Brecker.
Yeah?
You see, I can read your mind. One thought is racing through your mind now. It's mirrored in your eyes, etched on your brain.
You're lying, trying to trick me into telling you.
All right, I'll tell you what you're thinking about. You're thinking of a man. He acts strangely. That's it. He's shell-shocked.
No.
Am I right?
No, stop it.
This man is very close to you. I've got it. He's your brother. His name is... Let's see. Danny, isn't it?
No, go away. Leave me alone.
Thinking that even now your brother, Danny, is hurrying home to get a high-powered rifle out of a trunk.
Is that true?
A rifle equipped with telescopic sights
No.
and a silencer. You're thinking of Danny's medals for marksmanship, his decorations for valor as a sniper, A sniper so cunning he could hide in an open battlefield.
So I...
Pick his enemies off at long range and not be seen. That's all I need to know, Brecker. All I need to know.
No. No, you're crazy. You're just guessing. All right, suppose he is. You won't find him. You won't stop him, Shadow.
Brecker, what's eating you?
No.
Hey, shut up, Brecker. What's the matter with you? Who do you think you're talking to?
It's a Shadow. He's here in the prison.
Yeah, well, don't let that worry you, Brecker. There's plenty of shadows where you're going. Come on. Deputies are waiting, and you're heading for the last mile. Now, look, Mr. Hanson. Every one of you jurors are in danger. You shouldn't be here on the street. This death threat may seem like a lot of hooey to you, but I've been assigned to guard you. And if anything happens, they'll send me back to pounding a beat.
Well, I'm sorry, Inspector, but I've got my business to attend to, and I can't hide in my office.
Hanson, what's the matter, man?
Oh, that man, look at him. He's fallen down.
What's the matter with that man? What's going on here? Keep back. Get back. Who are you?
Greg, homicide squad. Man's been shot.
Oh, you're crazy. I didn't hear no shot.
Neither did I. But just the same, he's got a bullet right between the eyes. Looks like Joe Brecker is keeping his word.
Lamont, can't you do something? Can't you find Danny Brecker?
No, Margot. He got away. He hasn't been near his mother's home since his brother Joe went to the death house. I've got to find Danny Brecker. He's somewhere. Hiding somewhere. Waiting to strike again. I've got to find him.
Good morning, Mr. O'Hara. I'd like some oranges and potatoes.
Good heavens, Mrs. Adams. What are you doing out in the street? I thought the police had detectives watching every one of you jurors that was on the Brecker case.
Oh, they've got a detective staying at my house, but I had to have some things for dinner, and I slipped out.
Mother, can I have some candy?
Yes, dear, of course you can.
Oh, Mother. Mother, what's the matter? Why don't you answer me?
Sam! Quick, phone the police. Get a doctor. Mrs. Adams has been shot.
Oh, I'm afraid she's dead.
Yes, the killer has struck again.
Judge Wilson.
Yes, Harvey?
Judge, don't you think it'd be, well, safer with a killer still at large if you had those window curtains closed?
No, that's not necessary. This apartment's on the 20th floor.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor, but just the same, I'll answer it, sir.
Thank you.
Hello? Yes, Judge Wilson is right here, Your Excellency. Well, the governor's on the wire, sir.
Here you are. Hello? Oh, yes, Governor. Yes, of course you couldn't commute Joe Brecker's sentence. If you did a thing like that, even to save the rest of the jury, there'd be no more law and order. But look, Governor, don't you think it'd be wise for you to cancel your engagement to ride in the parade tomorrow? You'd be in an open car and a perfect target for any...
Judge Wilson! Governor! Judge Wilson has just been shot. He's dead.
The Shadow will continue with his adventure in just a moment. In the meantime, here is a message of particular importance to families throughout this area who supply their own heat. We are now in a period of the year when all fuels are put to their severest test. However, homeowners who use blue coal have nothing to worry about, because blue coal, which is especially prepared for home use, is better qualified to meet sudden changes of weather than other fuels. During mild weather, blue coal banks for long periods with little attention. Then, when the temperature takes a sudden drop, blue coal immediately responds with minimum draft, sending a uniform supply of heat throughout the living quarters of the home. Because blue coal burns down to a fine, powdery ash, it is not only an economical fuel, but a particularly clean fuel as well. Furthermore, blue coal is an American product, mined in Pennsylvania by the Glen Alden Coal Company. Unlike a good many other fuels sold in this area, blue coal is prepared exclusively for home use. So that you can be sure of getting more uniform, more economical heat, blue coal is actually trademarked with a blue color so that you can identify it at a glance. There has been a big swing this winter to blue coal throughout this territory. Sales of blue coal this winter in the Middle Atlantic and New England states show an increase of 10.4% over sales for the same period a year ago. So take a tip from these blue coal families. For better, more economical heat, switch to blue coal tomorrow. Ask for it by name. Order a trial ton from your nearest blue coal dealer, whose name will be found in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Good work, Margot.
Hello, Lamont.
It'll take you long to get here. Let me help you out of the car.
I was waiting for your call, Lamont. As a matter of fact, I've been waiting for days. Where have you been? What are you doing?
The same thing the entire police force this city's been doing, Margot. Chasing a will-o'-the-wisp.
Are you sure it's Joe Brecker's brother, Danny?
Yes, there doesn't seem to be any doubt of it, but the police can't find him, and I haven't a single clue to go on.
What do you know about
I
him?
looked up his record. He was shell-shocked during the war in France. He was an expert marksman, a sniper. Society trained him to kill men. They told him they were enemies, that he should kill them off. And now, with a shell-shocked mind, he's remembering what society taught him. To kill.
Yes.
And another thing, for the people who've been through that experience, life is cheap.
Yes, but these poor people he shot and killed, the jurors and the judge, they were only doing their duty. They're innocent.
Yes, individually they're innocent, Margot. Individually we're all innocent, and yet all guilty. Because this Danny, Joe Brecker's brother, is a product of our own folly. Teaching men to kill in time of war, and yet expecting them to respect life in time of peace.
Lamont, why did you want me to meet you here?
Oh, I want you to do something for me, Margot. I want you to go into that brownstone house right over there. Joe Brecker's mother lives in the basement.
Yes.
Joe is scheduled to die at 5 o'clock. It's exactly 10 minutes from now.
All right, Lamont. I'll do it. Where will you be?
I'll be with you, Margot, as the shadow. I have a feeling Danny may come to his mother tonight, either just before or just after his brother dies. Hurry, you have less than 10 minutes. Here's the house. I'll ring the bell.
Lamont, what shall I tell her? That I'm a reporter?
Yes, but don't try to make her answer questions.
I hear someone coming.
Yes? What do you want?
Mrs. Brecker, I'd like to speak to you. May I come in?
I don't care. You can come in if you want to. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. Nothing will ever matter again.
I know you've been through a terrible ordeal these past days, Mrs. Brecker.
How could you know what I've been through? How could anyone know? My one son a murderer, and the other one, goodness only knows what or where.
Oh, I'm very sorry. If there's anything I can do.
In 3 minutes, they'll be killing my son, Joe. There's nothing anyone can do. It's his brother Danny. Oh, I'm so worried about him. Why doesn't he come? Oh, why doesn't he come home?
Ma.
Oh, Danny.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'd come. Joe said I shouldn't, but I had to come. I knew you'd want me home tonight.
Danny, where have you been? What's Joe been making you do?
I just been doing what Joe told me to do for him. Ma, who's that girl there? What's she doing here?
Why, she's just a friend, Danny. Just a friend. Come to sit with me.
She won't tell nobody I've been here, will she?
Oh, no, Danny. She won't tell anyone.
Ma, they're gonna kill Joe in a few minutes. 5 o'clock. And then I gotta go out and do one more thing for Joe. Look, it's almost time.
Oh, no. No, Danny, no. You can't. I won't let you.
Let go of me, Ma.
No.
Let go of me.
Danny.
I gotta do what Joe told me. I gotta keep my word to Joe.
No, Danny, listen to me. I know who's been killing those people, shooting them. Oh, you've got to give yourself up, Danny. They won't hurt you. They didn't know. You didn't know what you were doing. 5 o'clock.
time. It's time. 5 o'clock. Joe's dead. Now I gotta go back to the tower and do the last thing Joe wanted me to do for him.
Danny, don't. You've done enough harm.
You keep out of this. Joe told me to do this. I gotta. I can still hear a voice telling me to do it.
Now you hear a voice telling you not to, Danny.
Voice? I know. You're the shadow.
Yes, Danny. And for your own sake, your mother's sake, Danny,
Joe told me what to do with you. He knew you'd find me. That's why I got this hand grenade.
Oh, Danny, don't.
I got my hand on the firing pin. I'm gonna pull it out.
Stop, Danny, I'm warning you.
The voice came from there, in the corner. Joe told me to throw the grenade. Oh, my, Shadow.
What's happened?
It's all right. I managed to pick up the grenade and throw it through the window into the court before it exploded.
Oh, thank heaven.
I don't mind saying that's the closest call the Shadow ever had.
Lamont, how long have you been here in your office? What happened? Were you able to trail Danny to his hiding place?
No, by the time I got to the street after that hand grenade episode, he disappeared.
But haven't you any idea where he went? Where that tower you mentioned might be?
No, I've been working on this enlarged map of the Midtown section, trying to find some tall building, some tower Danny Brecker could use to hide, to pick off the governor.
Danny said something about a tower. It must be somewhere along the line of march of today's parade, Lamont.
Margot, that's the Wardman Tower.
But it isn't finished. They stopped work on it. It's nothing but a steel frame.
What could be a better place for a sharpshooter like Danny Brecker? There's no work going on there, just a watchman down on the street level. Margot, it's a long chance, but it may be the answer. Come on, there's a minute to lose.
My car's downstairs, Lamont. I'll drive you over there. But what if he isn't there? What if he's somewhere else, waiting to strike?
In that case, Margot, I'm afraid we'll have a new governor of this state.
Just a couple of minutes now, Joe. Just a couple of minutes, and the governor's car will come along. And then I'll do the last thing you asked me to do, Joe. Wind velocity 0. Range 300 yards. He'll die quick, Joe. Like you died. The governor's coming now, Joe. That's his automobile with all the flags on it. That's him, sitting in the back, with all those fellas around him. But I can pick 'em out. I won't miss, Joe.
Danny Brecker, listen to me.
What was that? Who said that? Who laughed like that?
Don't you recognize the Shadow, Danny?
But Joe said... He said the hand grenade would fix you.
You see, Danny, your brother was wrong. Put down that rifle, Danny Brecker.
How did you find me way up here? How did you know I was hiding up here among these steel girders? Just like I used to hide in the trees in the war.
That doesn't matter, Danny Brecker. All that matters is that you must not kill any more people.
But I got to. Just one more, Shadow. Just one more. The governor. Down there in that car. I promised Joe.
No, Danny. You will never keep that promise. Put down that rifle. Put it down, Danny. Lay it down on that steel girder and crawl back to the catwalk.
All right. All right. I'll put it down. I'll put it down. Where are you, Shadow? I still got another grenade. Talk to me, Shadow. Say something so I can tell where you are.
Crawl back to the catwalk, Danny. Crawl back to the catwalk, I say.
No. No, I won't. I won't. You can't make me. Come here and get me if you want me, Shadow.
I don't want to have to do that, Danny.
Don't you come near me, Shadow. Don't you touch me. If you do, I'll drop this hand grenade. I'll throw it down here among all those people. I'll kill dozens of them. There. I'll pull the pin. I'll throw it.
Danny. Listen to me. Hold that hand grenade, Danny. Hold it tight, Danny Brecker. See, your fingers tighten about it. Your mind obeys mine. Do you hear me, Danny? Danny, hold it. Don't throw that hand grenade.
Hold it. Hold it tight. Don't throw it.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it, Danny.
Don't drop it, Danny. Don't drop it, Danny. Don't drop it.
Yes, Commissioner Weston. A high-powered rifle fell into the street. Fell right in front of the governor's car.
I'm glad no one was hurt.
This is the 30th floor. This is where the bomb went off. Blew the guy to pieces.
Good heavens, he must have had a time bomb that went off too quick. Any idea who it was?
Yep. They found an identification card and some newspaper clippings in his pocket, and what was left of him. It was Danny Brecker, Joe Becker's brother.
Oh. Well, I guess that's that. Don't suppose we'll ever know what really happened. Anyway, there's one consolation. Looks as if the shadow fell down on this case just as badly as we did.
Not quite, Commissioner Weston.
Oh, so you got here in time to take credit for this, eh, Shadow?
There is no credit. No glory in the death of Danny Brecker, Commissioner Weston. He was a victim. A human instrument of destruction. Fashioned by mankind. That teaches men to kill their enemies in time of war, yet expects them to forget their murderous art in time of peace. Danny Brecker was an enemy of society. A killer. But only because you and I and countless thousands made him one. No, Commissioner. There is no glory in this for you, or the shadow, or for any man.
Now, Mr. John Buckley, Blue Coal's heating expert, has a few words of valuable information for you.
Thank you, Ken Roberts. Good evening, friends. This summer, you no longer need to skimp on your hot water to save money on gas bills. Now it's possible for you to have from 3 to 5 times more hot water than ever before without any increase in cost. In fact, I'm sure I can tell you of a way to guarantee a greater supply of hot water at lower cost. As the first step toward an unlimited supply of really hot water, ask your Blue Coal dealer about hot water tank heaters, sometimes described as bucket-a-day stoves. These heaters are very inexpensive and can be installed at a reasonable cost. Today, these heaters can be installed with an automatic draft regulator, which greatly increases the heater's efficiency and further reduces the fuel bill. Heaters equipped with regulators not only help to maintain a supply of uniformly hot water, but they also make the operation of the heater practically automatic. Your Blue Coal dealer will be glad to tell you all about these heaters and quote a price on the size best suited to your requirements. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. And friends, follow Mr. Barclay's advice. And remember this, you can show Blue Coal and the Shadow just how much you really enjoy this program by mailing the request for your free and postpaid copy of the Shadow magazine tonight. I'll repeat the address. Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. Don't forget, mail your letter or postcard tonight. And for better heat at less cost, phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer tomorrow. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
As you sow evil, so shall you reap evil. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows. nose.
Again, Blue Coal Dealers present radio's strangest adventurer, the Shadow. Mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, Blue Coal brings you the Shadow's latest adventure, the White Legion. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment, our last adventure with the Shadow for this season will begin. In the meantime, let's give a thought to the special heating problems of the spring season. Springtime means warm days, cool days, showers, and uneven temperatures that bring colds and sniffles. So guard against uncertain weather. Burn blue coal in your heating plant, for blue coal protects against varying temperatures. Its harmless blue color is your guarantee of steadier, more dependable heat at less cost. So when you're buying fuel, insist on blue coal, Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. Order a trial ton from your nearest blue coal dealer tomorrow. And listen for the Shadow's important message at the end of the program.
Smith, will you bring me those papers?
Yes, Mr. Devons.
Which one of you is William Devons?
Right here. What can I do for you?
We want you, Devons.
Huh?
Drop that ledger and get your hat. I've got you all covered. Stand up against the wall.
Oh, they've got masks on.
Let go of me. What do you mean barging into my office?
Go as you're told. The White Legion wants you, Devons, and we go in wherever we have business. Move.
What are you?
Shut up. Now, the rest of you stand back. We're the White Legion, and Mr. Devons is going to learn a lesson he'll never forget. Prisoner William Devons has confessed his part in a conspiracy against the sacred institutions of the White Legion. We give him to the All-High Commander.
Let the accused know his fate.
Have you anything to say, Devins?
I plead with you. Don't kill me. I've got a wife and children.
Silence.
Please, let me go.
Give him another taste of the whip. That's better. Now secure the prisoner and stand him over the trap door.
Don't.
Open the trap.
Well, glad to find you in, Margot, and up. How about a little shopping with me this morning?
I'd love it, Lamar. But isn't 10 o'clock a trifle early for you?
Not this morning, at any rate. I've already paid a call on Commissioner Weston on my way over. Poor man's up to his neck as usual.
What's the trouble now?
Well, he's got quite a few things on his mind, one of them being William Devons.
William Devons? Isn't he the chief of the Bureau of Markets?
He was. But this morning, his body was found far out at sea, bound hand and foot, and apparently thrown from a ship.
Oh.
Peculiarly atrocious murder.
Good heavens, Lamont. Any clues?
So far, none. Another thing bothering the commissioner is the matter of this White Legion.
The White
Yes.
Legion?
It's a band of men calling themselves Avengers of Injustice, who are taking the law into their own hands, terrorizing, assaulting, and abducting, often in broad daylight and in the most unexpected places.
Well, that's strange. I haven't seen anything about it in the papers.
So far, it's been kept out of the papers, but in spite of that, enough has gotten out so that demands are being made of Weston that something be done immediately.
Poor Commissioner Weston. He seems to have his hands full.
And on top of all that, young Alton Parker's life has been threatened. He's the assistant district attorney, you know.
His life threatened? Why?
Well, Parker's prosecuting a case against Red Collins, the gangster accused of killing Boss Houseman a couple of months ago. The trial comes up this week. Oh, it's all sinister politics, I suppose. Weston seemed to think the White Legion was mixed up in that, too.
Then the White Legion has some connection with politics?
It's possible. However, if we're going to start suspecting people, we could begin at the top of the City Hall crowd and go to the bottom. It's Weston's problem, not ours. Want to go shopping with me?
Why not? What are we going for?
Oh, a little exercise and a few shirts. Come along.
Linens and embroidery the next aisle over, madam.
Look, darling, don't you think this airplane luggage is just the thing for our trip south?
Oh, it's nice, dear. But I can't seem to enthuse about this trip somehow, Alton. We've planned so many times before, and now this latest development. Oh, I'm terribly worried, dear.
Oh, now, please, Helen.
District attorneys are always getting threatening letters. They don't mean a thing.
Yes, but...
And Mr. Lawrence promised just as soon as this Red Collins case is finished, I can pack up and go. We start trial tomorrow. Can't last more than a week.
I know. I'm sorry to be so violent, but... Alton!
What's the matter, dear?
Those two men I saw when we came in the store, they're coming this way.
Now, Helen, please don't
All
let your
right, Parker,
imagination...
there's a gun in my pocket. Shut up and come with us.
You keep your mouth shut, Mrs. Parker, and stand right here.
What are you trying to do?
The White Legion wants to ask you some questions, Parker.
Is that so? Well, take this.
Stop it!
All right, stand back, the lot of you. This is an arrest.
Drag him out, Pete. Get back there. We're off.
He arrested somebody. That must be his wife. Hey, she's fainted. Look out, there she is.
Will you please clear the aisle, please?
Keep the aisle clear, please. They put that guy in a car and drove off with him. The cop at the corner went after him.
Oh, dear, will somebody please look after her? I'd better phone the police.
Yes, I'll take care of her.
Is she all right, Margot?
I think so, Lamont. Just fainted.
I beg your pardon. This must be her husband's briefcase. Papers scattered all over. I'll pick them up.
Here,
Alton.
let me help you.
Alton. Oh, my husband. David.
There now.
David.
They've notified the police. Who is your husband?
He's the assistant district attorney, Alton Parker.
Alton Parker?
Those men who took them away. They're from the White Legion. I heard them say it. Oh, please do something.
Will you come to the first aid room, madam? They're sending over detectives.
Oh, yes. Please, I feel so weak.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Parker. I'm Hardney Clays, owner and publisher of the Globe. Is this your husband's briefcase?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
I'll
it
be
is.
very glad to deliver it to the district attorney's office if you say so. There may be valuable papers, you know.
Oh, yes, if you will, please. Thank you, Mr. Clay.
Now, if you come right this way, please, Mrs. Parker.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Mr. Clays.
Oh, who are you?
My name is Mark
Oh, well, what do you make of this?
If what she says is true, it's more of the White Legion's handiwork.
Oh, you think so?
I understand they were mixed up in the murder of Boss Houseman.
Oh, that's pure hearsay. There was no real evidence.
Still, Red Collins is going to trial for shooting Boss Houseman, and Alton Parker is slated to prosecute. It all hangs together, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose so. Anyway, I intend to take this matter up editorially in my paper this very afternoon. The Globe has kept away from the White Legion up to now. So much politics mixed up in it, you know.
Yes, I know.
Yes, but this is terrible. I'll see what Commissioner Weston is doing about it. Well, I must go along now. Oh, wait, let me see. Is that paper on the floor out of this briefcase?
Yes? No. It's been nothing but a sales folder. Special today. White goods sale.
Oh, yes, I see. Well, I'll get this briefcase down to the district attorney's office. Glad to have met you, sir.
Very glad to have met you, Mr. Clay. Oh, there you are, Margot. Sure right now?
Yes, but suffering from shock, poor woman. Oh, this is an outrage, Lamont. You ought to do something. The shadow ought to do something.
I imagine you're right.
Where did you get those papers?
I think they fell out of Alton Parker's briefcase, and they're rather important, I believe. You see the title on them?
Yes.
Evidence, The State versus Red Collins.
But why are you... Oh, I'm beginning to see.
Yes. The shadow is doing something about the White Legion, Margot. What's more, I expect to have a very busy afternoon.
The message from the commander, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it, Mr. Clays. SUNMAR2011. There you are, sir. I'll put it on your desk.
Thank you. Oh, see who that is at the door.
Yes, sir. Telegram for you, Mr. Clays.
Telegram. What can this mean? Oh, yes. Congratulations on your splendid editorial in this afternoon's Globe. It was almost convincing.
What?
Signed, The Shadow.
What? The shadow?
Stop trembling, you fool.
But if the shadow is after us...
We'll take care of the Shadow just as we take care of the rest of them. He can't bluff me.
Wait. The door's opening.
Pardon the intrusion, Mr. Clays.
Who is that? Who speaks?
I am the one they call the Shadow.
He's here. In this room.
I've heard of you and your tricks, Shadow. Where are you?
Here, in the shadows. But don't be alarmed because you can't see me. I've only come for a short visit, Mr. Clays.
Why honor me with your presence?
As a newspaper editor, I thought you might like to hear the news.
What news?
The White Legion is about to be exposed.
The White Legion. Exposed?
I presume you'll want to run an extra on that.
Why, yes, of course. I'm sure I'll be very pleased. Fair-minded citizens of this city and state can force an expose of that organization.
You sound like your own editorials, Mr. Clays.
If you're insinuating that I have some connection with the White Legion, you're very much mistaken.
I never insinuate, Mr. Clays. I simply wanted to keep you posted. The next time you hear my voice, Clays, be ready to run your extras. It will be the signal that the White Legion is doomed.
Before the Shadow continues its adventure, I want to give you a message from blue coal dealers throughout the country. As announced earlier, this is the final Shadow broadcast of the winter series. Blue coal dealers take this opportunity to express their great appreciation for the many letters they have received praising these broadcasts. They are also deeply grateful to New England families who have favored blue coal with a volume of business which has created a sensation in the fuel industry in New England this winter. We are, of course, happy that so many families have learned through experience that blue coal, an American product, is Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. It is the best quality fuel that can be used. For not only is blue coal safe, clean, and convenient, it is economical, too. The Glen Alden Coal Company, who mine blue coal, have prepared it especially for home use. No wonder blue coal sales in New England have increased more than 28% this winter compared to the same period a year ago. You may be sure that the high standards of quality which have been responsible for this increase in business will be maintained at all times. So take a tip from blue coal families, and for better, more economical heat, switch to blue coal tomorrow. Ask for it by name. Order a trial ton from your nearest blue coal dealer. His name is listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Let me see those notes, Margot.
What makes you think Hot Nick Clays is mixed up with this White Legion, Lamont?
A little deductive reasoning, Margot. I've noticed that since this White Legion stuff is broken in the papers, Clay's paper, the Globe, has been deliberately playing it down. Clay's editorial policy seems to be that the atrocities of the White Legion have been greatly exaggerated.
It does sound peculiar.
Exactly. Clay seemed rather confused when I appeared to him this afternoon as the Shadow. Let me clean up matters.
What have you got there?
It's a copy I made of a memorandum that was on Clay's desk.
Let's see. Oh, what in the world does it mean, these two words? Convocation Water Chapel. Then this string of letters and numbers. SUNMAR 2011. Doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. SUN is Sunday. MAR is March.
Yes.
And then 20 and 11, Convocation Water Chapel, Sunday, March 20th at 11.
But that's today.
Yes, probably at 11 tonight. And I have an idea that the Water Chapel is the place where they're holding Alton Parker prisoner. We're going to find out. Bring the car and meet me in the block next to Clay's house at 8 o'clock, Margot.
Yes.
If Clay's is going to that meeting, we'll follow him. Slow down, Margot. You want to get too close to Hartley Clay's car.
This fog rolling in. We'll be lucky if we don't lose them entirely. Can you see their car through the field glasses, Lamont?
Yes, it's turned down that side road toward the bay. There's a small shack on the edge of the water. Fog's getting heavier. Makes it hard to see.
That shack must be the place they call the Water Chapel.
Yes. Apparently right on the edge of the channel. It goes out to sea.
Oh.
I'm going to stop here, Margot. Let's get out.
All right, Lamont. There's a small inlet here.
Yes.
We can see better now.
That fog doesn't get any thicker. There's a motorboat tied up the wharf. 3 cars parked nearby. Wait. Clays and the man with him are getting out. They're going toward the shack.
I don't see any light in the place.
Someone's opening the door. Yes, there's a figure dressed in a long white robe and a mask with a white cap on his head.
Oh.
They've gone inside. That fog's getting so thick I can't see the place any longer.
What are you going to do now?
Somehow I've got to get out there. And I'd just as soon not go by the front door.
Oh, look, Lamont. This old rowboat lying in the inlet.
Good idea, Margaret. There seems to be only one oar, but I can paddle with that. The inlet apparently leads down into the channel.
Oh, Lamont, please be careful. There's a terrible current rushing out to sea, and in that fog you won't be able to see anything.
Oh, I'll be all right, but if you don't hear from me by 6 o'clock in the morning, get in touch with Commissioner Weston. Give him the location of this place and warn him to bring a few men with him.
Yes.
If I get what I expect, I won't need him.
What do you expect to get?
Enough evidence to wipe out the White Legion from top to bottom.
All right, Parker, get yourself ready to meet the judgment of the White Legion.
What judgment?
The judgment of death. I'll be back for you in a minute.
Judgment of death.
Alton Parker.
Who's that?
Quiet. I am the Shadow. I've come to help you.
Shadow.
Keep your chin up and do what they tell you. We'll see this through.
Step out, Parker, and follow me.
This meeting of the comrades of the White Legion will come to order. First offender, present the accused.
The accused stands before you, All High Commander.
First recorder, the prisoner, Alton Parker, having committed acts against the order of the White Legion, acts that we consider detrimental to the good of our city, he has signed his order of punishment. With the consent of the comrades, we give him into your hands.
Let the accused know his fate.
Alton Parker, have you anything to say?
Yes, I have. I was to have prosecuted a murderer tomorrow, a man known as Red Collins, who by your help and instigation killed Al Hausman, your political rival. It's common knowledge that this White Legion of yours sides with the party in power at City Hall. And all your sanctimonious chatter about the good of our city doesn't fool anybody. Prosecuting criminals is my job. And if that prosecution endangers the lives and reputations of one political clique or another, it's no concern of mine.
Cut it short, Parker. You have 1 more minute.
I know why you're getting rid of me. Because your White Legion is mixed up in the worst scandal this state has ever known. And I know what that scandal is. If you, with your robes and masks, knew what that scandal is, you wouldn't be members of this gang. You'd ask your leaders what kind of money-grafting racket they're running. Ask him, the one that sits there on his mock throne.
Who tore off my mask? You fool, get back.
Here it is, Commander. The strap broke.
I thought someone carried it.
Come to order, men. Hand the accused over the trap.
You are sentenced to die, Alton Parker.
You'll pay for this, all of you. There's a power beyond your reach that'll make you pay.
If you mean the shadow, when the time comes, we'll deal with the shadow in a way he won't forget.
Silence. Stand ready at the trap.
Give me that rope. I want to dispose of Mr. Parker myself. Ready?
The trap is ready.
Good. In another half hour, Alton Parker's body will be far at sea. The vengeance of the White Legion is now completed. We've called the Shadow's bluff.
Mr. Weston speaking.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Oh, it's you, Shadow.
This morning they're bringing Red Collins to trial for the murder of Boss Houseman.
You think I don't know
Please,
about...
Commissioner, this is urgent. When the trial starts, have a man stationed at each entrance to the courtroom. Don't let anyone in or out without your authority. And wait yourself by the main entrance. I think you'll have a surprise.
What's the idea? I'll do it if you tell me what...
I can't tell you anything more now, Commissioner, except this. If you don't do it, you'll regret it the rest of your life.
Well, I don't know what you're planning, but it better be good.
Oh, it'll be good, Commissioner. I'll promise you that. It'll be good.
Order in the court. Your Honor, I request that this man who calls himself Red Collins be reprimanded for his insults to me, the district attorney.
Proceed with the case, please.
Very well. Collins, who paid you to murder Boss Houseman?
Defense objects, Your Honor. Objection sustained.
All right, Your Honor. Perhaps you'll answer this question, Collins. Were you ever a member of the White Legion?
I was not.
I told you that once before already.
Defense requests that the prosecutor stick to the case in hand. The murder of Al Houseman.
The case in hand, as the defense and everybody else knows, goes far beyond the prosecution of this gangster.
Why, that's...
Order! I intend to prove, Your Honor, that this man Collins killed Al Houseman. That Collins acted under the instructions of the notorious gang known as the White Legion. The same gang who caused the mysterious disappearance of my able assistant, Mr. Elton Parker.
Confine yourself to the case at hand. The district attorney seems to have some trouble doing that.
Yeah. Look at this note, Collins. You deny sending that to Houseman the day before he was killed?
Sure. I wrote the letter and sent it to him. I told you that once already, too.
Why? Why did you write him such a threatening letter?
To scare him into paying me the money he owed me. That's why. I told you that once, too.
Mr. Collins is lying.
Hey, who's that?
He can neither read nor write.
Who is speaking? I demand that he identify himself. Is there someone in this courtroom who wishes to be sworn as a witness? Where are you? Who are you?
I am the shadow, Judge Rusco. I have some unsworn testimony that may interest you. The men who paid Red Collins to commit murder are in this room. They are the leaders of the White Legion. They have secretly milked the city treasury of over $10 million in the past 3 years. Their hands are red with blood.
I protest at this ridiculous procedure.
One of those men is sitting here in this courtroom. His name has been honored in the past. But he is a murderer.
Silence, I tell you. Who is it? Tell us who it is.
His name is Hartney Clays.
Hartney Clays.
A sanctimonious crusading editor who used his influence and position to learn the movements of the law and keep suspicion away from himself.
If there is any further disturbance, I will order the courtroom clear. Judge Rusco. Yes. I insist this part be concluded. If this shadow accuses me, let him present evidence.
The evidence is ready.
Order! You are making a fuss of this court of justice, whoever you are. If you don't stop, I will suspend the hearing.
No, let the shadow talk.
Yes,
I have talked enough. I now call your attention to the young man who was just entering the door with Commissioner Weston.
It's Elton Parker. It's Parker, the assistant district attorney that disappeared.
I demand the suspension of this trial.
No.
This trial won't be suspended until I present the evidence for conviction. You couldn't find that evidence, could you, Mr. Clays? It wasn't in my briefcase. Killing me wouldn't have destroyed it, because it's right here. After I was kidnapped in the store, these papers were sent to Commissioner Weston. Enough evidence to send Red Collins to the electric chair. To put an end forever to this murdering gang of hypocrites who call themselves the White Legion. I order the arrest of Hartney Clays. Commissioner Weston.
Right here, Mr. Parker. Stick out your hands, Clay.
You realize what you're doing?
Yes, I'm slipping a pair of handcuffs on you, mister. You'll be locked up and charged with the murder of William Devons, among others.
Go to it, Parker. Run out the rat.
Get him out. I relinquish the bench. Just a moment, sir. Now I move a suspension for the presentment of new charges to the grand jury. Those charges will show that the city funds have been tampered with. They will name the 6 leaders of the White Legion, including its all-high commander, the brains and moving force of its murderous atrocities, the man who sits on the bench at this moment, Judge Matthew Rusco.
Hey, where you are, all of you. The doors are guarded. Sergeant, have your man place Judge Rusco under arrest, and all 4 men at the defense table.
Right, sir. Come on now.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Quiet. There's one thing more. I want to pay this public tribute to the one who, more than any other, is responsible for this triumph of justice. The one who calls himself the Shadow.
My fellow citizens, I thank you. Let me remain a voice that wakes the guilty conscience, brings terror to the wrongdoer, and comfort to the oppressed. Know me only as the Shadow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert. But before we hear Mr. Barclay, we want to remind you that at the close of the program, the Shadow himself has an interesting message for you. Be sure to listen. And now, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken. Now a word about heating hot water this summer. Many listeners have had the experience of preparing to take a shower only to discover the hot water supply has been exhausted. Now, this condition should not exist in any home. There can always be an unlimited supply of hot water when you heat it with the efficient and up-to-date hot water tank heaters that manufacturers are turning out today. These heaters are still known in many communities as bucket-a-day or pot stoves. Their cost is trifling, even when installed with automatic draft regulators, which make their operation semi-automatic. They guarantee a generous supply of really hot water at a cost of about one-third present gas bills. I suggest that you ask your Blue Coal dealer about this hot water heating equipment. I'll be very glad to quote a price on the size best suited to your requirements.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that interesting message we promised you. The part of Lamont Cranston and the Shadow has been played by one of the most distinguished figures in the theater today, Mr. Orson Welles, famous for his production of Shakespeare in Modern Dress, a director of the Mercury Theater, producer of Broadway hits like Julius Caesar and The Shoemaker's Holiday. Mr. Welles, still a very young man, is making for himself a unique place in the field of dramatic art. We have been indeed fortunate in having Mr. Welles on our Shadow program. Now, I know all of you would like to hear a few words from Mr. Welles.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Words can hardly express my great enjoyment in doing this program for you. And now, before I leave you, I want to thank our sponsors, Blue Coal, for giving me the opportunity of doing this show. I want to thank our cast for the wonderful work they've done throughout our entire season. And above all, I want to thank you, our listeners, for your loyalty. We all hope you've enjoyed listening to the shows as much as we have playing them. You know, in the theater, we can see our audience. We're able to tell how well we're received by the applause we get. But unfortunately, we have no way of knowing how much you've enjoyed us over the air.
Wait, Orson. May I make a suggestion?
Certainly, Agnes Moorhead, or should I say Margot Lane.
There is a way. If you've enjoyed this program and would like to let Mr. Wells and all of us know about it, simply phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer and tell him so tomorrow morning. Tell him how much you've enjoyed the adventures of the Shadow.
A very fine idea, Agnes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, good night and goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. And let's all take Agnes Moorhead's suggestion and give the cast the volume of applause they deserve. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer tomorrow morning. Tell him how much you've enjoyed the adventures of the Shadow, and that you'd like the Shadow programs to resume again in the fall. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the persons named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
As you sow evil, so shall you reap evil. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.